Well, if you're paying attention, the fact is that there are a number of women who have shared stories of being robbed and abused. And so this morning we wanted to invite someone into our studios who can tell us and help the ladies in particular to understand how they can get engaged in self-defense strategies. And that is where O'Shane Bryant, who is the CEO of O'Shane Bryant Fitness Limited, comes in. He's here in the studio. Good morning, O'Shane. How are you doing?
Yeah, man. Big up, Richie B. Yeah, I'm here. Welcome to you. Welcome to your listeners.
Thank you so much. What was the journey like getting here? Was it terrible traffic out there this morning? No?
well, put it like this. Now I planned my route from the day before, and I just adjusted. So it wasn't really that terrible.
It wasn't difficult. All right. We have that you made it, and you did make it on time as well.
Yeah, man.
O'Shane, we're focusing primarily on the ladies, and I want to ask you, as we speak about self-defense, what is self-defense really?
All right. So self-defense, you can understand it as a concept, you can understand it as a practice, and it really is also a lifestyle, wherein which the focus is on the defense of life primarily. Property can be a factor that we can consider as something that we want to protect. Mm-hmm. But when you think about it, when you say you're going to defend self,
yes,
you're defending self against grievous bodily harm, and or you're defending self against death, primarily. Then no, it can be a case that you also want to defend loved ones. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Your family members, your daughter, your father, whoever it may be. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But primarily it's about the defense of life.
Yes.
Property can be a part of it. Based on jurisdictions, it may be a case that, depending on the degree in which you're going to go about trying to defend yourself, it can be a case where it harms you when it comes to you going up before the court. So universally, it is accepted that once you're talking about defending your life, then you are on grounds of self-defense. Now you have to speak about whether or not it is something that is you can consider as being applicable or something that you can say, yeah, is justifiable. So what would, in the context of, say, for example, female to male, if a male is to attack a woman empty hand, then considering that grounds, you would say that a woman is disadvantaged because this woman has less muscle mass, generally shorter, less stature. So if she is to try and fight back, like he's trying to grab onto her person or he's trying to, steal from her, abduct her, then she would be within grounds to defend self. Now, let's just say that in the context of her trying to use hands, go hands-on, it may not be as effective because, again, she does not necessarily have the physical attributes.
Physicality to match up to
a man.
Yes.
So in that respect, then, no, you may say, all right, she can up what it is that she will use as tools to defend herself, such as using a pepper spray, such as using a pen, such as using anything else to inflict pain.
Okay.
And in that respect, then, no, let's just say that the person ends up being pulled, as we will say in Jamaica, or getting a little puncture wound here or there. Then it may be justifiable because the fact that the woman is smaller in stature, should she go before the court. Okay. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if you think about it in the context of man to man.
So really and truly, in that moment, that should really not even be a part of what she's thinking, whether or not she might, quote unquote, get into some problems because of that. Because she's defending.
She's defending self.
Self, yes.
But here's the thing still. Universally, what is supposed to be the actual focus is to not end up in these situations to begin with.
Okay.
So universally, what is accepted as the first law in self-defense is avoidance. Because truth be told is, if you end up in confrontation, chances are you can end up hurt or worse. So to prevent that or to actually, mitigate against any form of unforeseen circumstances arising from your confrontation is best to avoid. Right. This is where we talk about awareness. This is where we talk about observation. This is where we talk about putting up things to deter threats to begin with, you know what I mean? And this is about you being aware of who are the persons within your personal space, the person you let into your social space, to that type of degree.
So you're not going to tell the ladies out there listening right now that if you come up against in an attack, that the first thing you want to be doing is just taking up your feet in your hand and run away. You're going to say to them, it might be necessary for you to defend your life and your property.
But put it like this,
and how do they do that?
But that's the thing, no. The first thing is that ideally, if you can run away, run away.
Run away.
I will stress that.
Okay.
If you can run, you run. Primarily, though, you want to prevent this by having your eyes on. So the couple of things that as people we would do, especially with this being a gadget, a tech type of a time.
Right.
We're going on the streets, eyes on the phone. We're not keeping our eyes around to see who are the persons within our space. You understand what I'm saying? And then not seeing who is making eye contact with us. As females, what it is that you want to do is that you want to make eye contact, particularly with the opposite sex. Because you don't know, sometimes as men, we see what we like. And to sometimes it can become across as being sexual harassment for females because they feel uncomfortable. But they want to make eye contact to let the person know, hey, you know what, I can see you, and your body language is such where you're positioning yourself to say, you know what, I am not interested. In the event, say, for example, so in other words, I'm going into stages now how you can move across, defend himself, you know. If it's a case where now this person is making move towards you because your awareness is up and you see this person as a potential threat, and this person is making move towards you, then in your respect, you try to move away from that scene. I'm not going to say to you, stand up and go on like your bravado. You move away from the scene. If the person is moving down on you and you can see that the person is actually trying to get to you, this should be your prompt to try and run. You understand what I mean? But let's just say that there's no room to run. And this person tries to then put hands onto you. What happens Try then? To grab you. Then this is where then...
Or your property, maybe your bag, for instance.
There you go. Then in this respect, this is where you have to then know defend self. And when I say defend self, this is where you enter into warrior mode. And this is where the mental aspect of self-defense comes into play. There is a physical aspect where you have to be physically strong to be able to manage body weight primarily. So this is where the fitness part comes into play. But then no, you have to have the mental kind of a commitment to say, you know what, if this person is attacking me and I'm going to get hurt, and I'm me alone, I'll get down there. I am going to get along there with me just the same. That's the kind of warrior spirit that is necessary. You know what I mean? So yes.
Do you find ladies respond well to that kind of suggestion that they should develop this warrior spirit, or generally most ladies?
From my experience in terms of training women, I would say that for those who would have come across being harassed, those would have been harassed in the past or would have been violated, they have much more of a sensitivity of being aggressive in this response. But, you know, for those who don't necessarily have that kind of experience, you know, because naturally, you know, females, they tend to be like the timid kind of a style, you know what I mean? Sorry, so it's not something that they are really just going to gravitate towards. So yes, it takes time.
But you can assist them in gaining that.
Definitely, that is where the understanding and knowing how to meet persons where they are, and you know, at least try to build that rapport and letting them know it's fine. But you have to develop it though.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but I'm going to invite one of my team members into the studio here, and if you don't mind, I'd love for you to demonstrate, if you will, how a lady, in simple fashion, could possibly defend herself if she's under attack. I see this lady is not somebody you want to be taking chances with. She stepped into the studios and she's going, so she's ready for whatever you can bring. But if you don't mind, is there any way that you can demonstrate that the microphone could follow you if you wanted to?
All right. So what it is I would like to mention first, that for women and you know, men in general, they're generally body parts that we can consider as being naturally conditioned to, you know, fight off an attacker in close range. This is where we talk about using your elbow. Now, specifically, I want you to make an elbow for me. Specifically, you're not using the elbow point. But what I want you to do is just to creep your fingers up a little bit, and you're supposed to feel a little hard section right there. So
you're feeling that, Jody?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Here, so it's basically much more conditioned than your knuckles. So if you think about trying to punch somebody, you can break your. If you're trying to think about punching somebody, you can break your wrist.
Right.
But if you're trying to hit somebody now with the elbow, it's less likely that you're going to be feeling pain here.
Okay.
All right. Another part that you can use as a naturally conditioned body part to strike somebody with is what we call the palm heel.
The palm heel.
Palm heel. The heel of the palm.
Okay.
So basically, as you know, we can do push-ups and that kind of thing. You have to brace your body weight on that section. So that's another area that you can use. So you want to pull back your fingers.
People do.
And it's basically pushing. Now, what is critical is that you have to be able to understand how to develop power from the hips. And that basically means that you have to have your stance in place, which is pretty much like your
Jody, you were preempting him a while ago.
So generally, Jody is in basically a stance at the hips.
Yes, I tell you she's ready for it.
The thing about it now is that what Jody wants to do is that she wants to soften her knees because she wants to be able to engage the muscles surrounding the joints. And by doing this now, you're actually contracting muscles, which means that you can develop more power, more force. Good? Now, the next part about it is that you basically want to prep yourself into striking. So I'm just showing you how to actually do a palm heel strike here without anything that is added to it. Just strike by pushing the hand forward as hard as you can and breathe at the same time.
No.
See?
Please.
So pull the elbow, pull the thumb back. You're going to strike. So I want you to visualize the person in front of you. You're going to push your hand in front as fast as you can. Fast as you can. Strike as fast as you can. So what you're going to do then is going to pull the hand back. I want you to hear the exhalation. Do it again. Exhale, because you see, the thing about exhalation is that it actually engages more muscles as well within the core.
All right.
Good? Exhale with it.
I hear you. How's
aggressive. That's not good enough.
Not good enough?
Go again. Aggressive. Again. Again. So you see this now? So this is an example of what I'm talking about in the context of the mentality that is necessary. The warrior mentality.
Let me just interject here. Joe, did I do you something? Because those are coming right in my direction. Almost reached oddly over there. Yeah.
So what is critical is that you have to commit mentally. Even though a person is not physically here, this is what we call shadow boxing. What everybody can do is that you can look yourself in the mirror, make a palm heel, and basically just visualize a person trying to strike you. And where you're aiming for with this palm heel can be to the chin. Good. It can be to the side of the face. It can be to the neck. You follow? What it is that you want to do is that you want to strike as many times until the person drops.
Okay.
You move. You don't stand still. Demonstrate that for me, please. Get aggressive.
Let me just back off a little bit.
Give me 2 strikes and just move to your left or move to your right.
I ain't taking no chances.
Come on.
Okay.
And move to your left. Move.
Yeah.
All right. I want you to hear the exhalation now. Come again.
Let's go.
Hold my breath.
Come again. Yeah.
Ladies,
Breathe out.
some of you are watching, some are listening.
Breathe out.
Take note.
Come again.
Let's go.
Breathe out. Good. Come again. Come in. Come again. All right. So the next part about it is that this hand now should be a guard. Because think about it now. You're going to be striking, but the person won't just stand up there and take lick.
Right.
Person, that's what I'm
They're
saying.
going to attack back.
You're going to have to understand this is a fight for your life. So let's just say that the palm heel doesn't work. Another go-to tool that you can use is a pen. Take a pen out for me, please. So I want you to understand this pen here now, based on the shape of it, is such way it can be used as a thrusting weapon. Good? Puncture.
Okay.
So if a person is coming at you, you don't even have to think about going for the face. Anywhere at all that grab you, you strike it. Good? You're aiming and you just a strike. You now stop until the person let go.
Okay.
So I want you to demonstrate you know actually just striking and you just putting strike and just
So,
pull
as
it back.
fast as you can, as often as you can.
Do it.
That was very fast.
Do it. Come on. You need to be aggressive. You need to be aggressive, Jordan.
Georgia, you're not tapping somebody.
Come on. Strike, man.
You're attacking. You're attacking, not tapping.
Come on. So you see, you have to get yourself in there mentally.
Right.
It's a mental thing.
I don't feel that's how I'd do it if I was being attacked for a reason.
So you have to strike. Basically, this is pretty much you just using. And the thing about it is that, I mean, this is saying that not everybody will travel with knives. Not everybody. I mean, I would say that use what you have. As women, you can have a bag. Good. I mean, if you can think about a bag, let me just pass a bag for me, please. This bag here now can be used as a diversion. Good. If you have a bag and a person wants what they want, give it to them. You follow? Because by doing this now, good, the eyes can shift to the bag. You know the other eyes did a while ago?
Yeah.
And that following gives you time to strike. It's
Or
about
run.
knowing how, or run. It's about knowing how to use your brain.
Yeah. Jody, how was that experience?
That was good. Just want to know if I was in danger, I would stop fast.
Yes.
I just want you to know that I will not do anything to upset you because what I just saw, you could knock me out easily. Thank you so much, Jody. And thank you, O'Shane.
Yeah, man.
And those are just a few tips. I'm sure that you have many more that you could share with the ladies, especially those who are your clients. Tell